Bitcoin has surely become the it coin over the last decade. It's probably the one crypto that is widely regarded as a commodity, but it could also save your life in a CBDC situation where your government goes totalitarian and you really have no option to buy food or buy the things you need to provide for your family because you're stuck with a CBDC that they can toggle on and off whenever they want. So Bitcoin is vital. Now, I will stick by what I've always said. It is impossible moving forward to A, prosper with crypto in your name. You need to never have crypto in your name moving forward because they are waging war against you, and soon they will literally be knocking on your door around the world. This is coming sooner than you think. And two, there's a situation where getting in and out of Bitcoin for fiat is really not possible on a big scale because the way things are done. But using Bitcoin as a use case, as a commodity, as a store of value that actually has purchasing power is possible based on what we're gonna talk about today. And you don't need a bank and you don't need any other third party because Bitcoin was created peer-to-peer, permissionless, decentralized. We need to get rid of this custodian model, these banking model, these central banks, world governments, because they're kind of cramping the style of something that was supposed to be decentralized. And so if you want to look at how you can use this anywhere, anytime, for you and only you, and not messing up your life, which is what these CBDCs aim to do, and if people allow them to come through, then you will have nothing left except for maybe the quadrant I talk about: gold, silver, Bitcoin, and Monero. Let's get into today's video, Operation Bitcoin, to save your life. Before we get into that, if you haven't already, make sure you check out my newsletter. I got a free weekly newsletter. Comes out every Thursday. Nothing but the facts, nothing but the content. I've been asked by so many people, no promos, no marketing, no nothing. My goal is to get 1 million people on this newsletter. And one of the ways I'm gonna do that is I've actually already got a pretty big list. I've been doing this for a very long time. But also, this is a newsletter that you can feel comfortable telling people you know about because there's all the fluff is taken away. This is not a sales newsletter. It's not a marketing. I don't promote anything in this newsletter. I give recommendations. I give facts. I let people know what I'm investing in, what my picks are, but I don't charge for anything. It's all 100% free, and I really go deep. It's not something you can find anywhere on the internet because the internet now has no freedom of speech anymore. Everyone knows that, and everything's censored. But the Blacklisted newsletter, new issues coming out every week. And I want it to be a newsletter that people feel comfortable sharing with their family and friends who are looking to get into more privacy, security, looking for the real facts, the hard truth, real data, and no BS. That's why I'm building this newsletter for the community and nothing else. I will not be marketing or promoting anything in this newsletter. I will only be giving you the raw, unfiltered, unedited facts. And that's all I got to say about that. So check it out, first link down below. Let's get into Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is an interesting one. Just ask Dread Pirate Roberts, who's literally in prison for the rest of his life because he thought Bitcoin was private and secure. And that's not the protocol it's built on. It's not a privacy coin. Now, I do not advocate doing anything illegal. I do not advocate doing anything shady. I do not advocate doing anything against the law, and you don't need to. But the fact is, the government also cannot do anything they want. And unfortunately, since 2020, they've decided that, oh, yes, they can. And when the weak people of the world have decided not to rise up, not to stand up, not to take action, not to make their voices heard, this is how you end up with communist Canada. This is how you end up with slavery in South America. This is how you end up with people getting rounded up in Australia. This is how you end up with these type of things. This is how you end up with the Constitution constantly under attack in the United States of America. Because people aren't standing up. So you might need Bitcoin to literally save your life. Like I said, you won't be able to get in and out of fiat unless you have a ghost business or a special trust that I talked about in yesterday's video. But maybe you just need to buy some Bitcoin to feed your family because Bitcoin is widely accepted by more vendors than any other crypto ever will be. So this could be an option. Well, what do you do? Well, I talk a lot about Monero because Monero is an actual privacy coin. Monero and Bitcoin work hand in hand together. A lot of people ask me, Cody, do you recommend tumblers? No, I do not. Most tumblers are garbage. Now, there are a few on the dark web that, you know, again, this is more of a newsletter topic because I can't say them. I literally can't say the names of these tumblers or the video will get taken down. I've quoted government websites, quoted verbatim. I've taken their text, put it on the screen, quoted it, put a link in my video, and the video got taken down and I couldn't post for like a week because, you know, I quoted it. This is where we are with free speech, okay? You're censored far beyond your comprehension. Most of you don't make content, I know. Most of you don't deal with this stuff, I know. Most of you don't have to talk to lawyers all the time. You have no idea how much time I have to waste being attacked by governments and agencies and dealing with lawyers and lawsuits just to help people, with their freedom and their privacy, which is literally a right. This is where we are in this world. And I'm glad most of you don't have to deal with what I deal with because it's not fun. I'll tell you that. It's not fun. I would be better off being like a playing card reviewer and getting 1 million views than getting suppressed all across the world. But I care about the fight and I care about leaving this earth better than I found it. So if we're gonna get into Bitcoin and we're gonna buy Bitcoin, well, how can we do it anonymously? Well, people say, well, can I just buy Bitcoin from somebody I know who has Bitcoin with cash? I mean, yeah, technically you could, but that's not really a reliable source. And going where we're going with crypto and the new crypto framework bill that I've talked about at length that is coming through now that we have a new speaker in the House, you've got a serious issue because of the way the wording is. That would actually be an illegal act moving forward. And it's already illegal in several countries. There's places in Europe where you already can't do that. There's already a lot of things that are becoming illegal. They're attacking encryption, they're attacking crypto, they're attacking freedom of speech. They took news off social media in Canada. No, I didn't say communist China. That was a long time ago. Canada is literally following lockstep, marching in the exact same direction as China. And it's happening. And it's not talking about happening. It's already happening in front of our eyes. So, yeah, I mean, technically you could, but is there a better way? Well, the issue Monero has to a certain degree, and this is why I'm such a big proponent of Bitcoin and Monero working together, kind of like gold and silver work together. So you can go to local Monero, you can buy a Monero. Now, Monero with ring signatures and the way that Monero is structured, which I've done a tutorial on Monero. Check out my tutorial video. I go through everything in depth. I've done 3 actually, but I've broke down how to buy Monero anonymously, how to use Monero, how to buy gift cards with Monero. I've done tutorials on all these things on my channel. So make sure you're checking out those videos if you want to understand Monero. But the problem is probably 10% of the vendors that take Bitcoin take Monero. So what do? Well, you can go to local Monero for one example. You can buy some Monero. Let's say you put $1,000 in Monero. Then you can go to Cake Wallet or you can go to Stealth EX, which I talked about in yesterday's video, and you can swap it for Bitcoin. Then you have Bitcoin that is completely anonymous, that is not tied to you. Then you can transfer it to a hardware wallet. Now, this is good because then you have a device in your hand that you can actually buy things. So similar to how you have a phone and maybe you have an app on your phone and you can do that with your Bitcoin, right? So there's that option. You can also buy gift cards directly, which I showed how to do that in my Monero video, coin cards and other gift card options to be able to buy with both Monero and Bitcoin, which is really good. Cake Wallet had a swap in their system, but they got shut down because the bank got out of crypto. But there are other gray market options. I'll say gray market. And again, I talk about some of those on the Privacy X website in the tools where you guys can use the hidden wiki on the dark web. So hidden wiki and dark web, and there's a lot of gray market cards you guys can actually buy, which is really good. And I've done a video on that like 2 years ago. A lot of people ask me these questions on a regular basis. Look at my catalog. I've done hundreds of videos showing you guys how to do thousands of things that the average person doesn't realize is available to them. So make sure you're checking out those videos because they're all still relevant. Pretty much every video on my channel is still relevant and breaks down a lot of that. And it shows the steps to doing that. But this will allow you to get in and out of both. So Cake Wallet is valuable, but so is Exodus. And I think Cake Wallet and Exodus are good options, kind of your gateway. Now, Exodus is good because maybe you want to get into other coins. So maybe you go from Monero to Bitcoin to XRP, Monero to Bitcoin to Shiba Inu, Monero to Bitcoin to Cardano, Monero to Bitcoin to XLM. I mean, I can do this all day long, right? But this gets you a clear path in. Now, is there a clear path out? Only through a ghost business. And the reason is there's not a reliable marketplace to exit, except for a bank. And you're gonna need a bank or a trust. Now, I talked about this yesterday, and we are still doing the deal of yesterday. You can check out Get Ghosted. The first 15 people, I think we still have about half the slots available. Will get the advanced trust as a bonus for signing up. So check out Get Ghosted. You'll be able to get in and out. We'll structure everything crypto, no KYC crypto, the advanced trust, and the full Ghost program just for the price of the Ghost program right now. So it is a deal that I've never done and will never be able to do again because I'm doing this at an absolute loss at this point. But I'm trying to help as many people as I can. And like I said, it's going to be the showcase for what we're doing next because we have some big moves coming next year. That's why we've been doing this. That's why I've been putting together the newsletter so I can announce some of the really big things we're doing. Because obviously the traditional internet is about to die. It's about to die, but that's a good thing. That's a thing that I want to happen. I want Web 2 to die. I want the current internet to die because there's a bunch of really, really, really big things to be revealed on Web 3 that is coming, not just from Privacy X, but from a lot of companies. And this is why I'm so passionate about the newsletter. I know you're like, oh, you won't shut up about your newsletter, because it actually allows me to tell you guys what's happening. Do you realize that I have had to self-censor myself about 14 times already in this video because it's not possible? And I don't care what platform. People say, oh, Rumble. Rumble sucks. Rumble with their public offering and all that stuff. Rumble is no better. None of these, nothing better. Twitter is probably the best of all of them. And I do post a bit on Twitter. So make sure you're following me on Twitter because that's like the only social media that has any level of freedom in my opinion. Now, it's not absolute freedom. It's not freedom the way that it should be. But Twitter is definitely the best. So you can check me out. I got my Twitter in the description. I do post a lot of stuff on Twitter because Twitter's like 80% in freedom, where like most of these sites are like 20, maybe 30 at best. But keep that in mind, and that's why I'm so passionate about that. But yeah, you can go from local Monero into having your Monero on Cake Wallet, on Exodus, on StealthyX, doing a swap into Bitcoin using your hardware wallet. The problem a lot of people have with this is then you get stuck. You get stuck, and this is why you need a ghost business to get you out so you can get in and out of fiat. But are you actually stuck? No, because you can use this site and you can actually go from Monero or Bitcoin to gold. This is a phenomenal site that I have used quite a few times that works really good. Allows you to go from cash Monero to Bitcoin to gold. And then from gold, you can go back to cash if you want to. So there's a little loophole, but this site is under fire. And I do imagine at some point, they will probably go the way of Cake Wallet's card site. They are having issues. They've been slowed down, but there is options like this. Now, there is 4 other options that I'm not going to reveal on video because I don't want them to ever come under attack for gold options. But this is one. I had to give you one legitimate one. This is one that I've used and it works really well. You can buy gold and silver in Bitcoin or Monero. So that is a way to do it completely anonymously. But also, I talked about the try drop, mail drop. That way you don't ever get revealed through the mail system, which is very important. But the other thing you want to keep in mind is, well, when you're looking at the gold and silver option, you got to stay under the $10,000 when you sell it so you don't have any paperwork, which is legal to do. You don't have to sell over $10,000, but it's a hassle if we're talking larger sums of money. This is why ghost business is so important. Are they ever going to close this loophole? They really can't because not in the United States. They probably will in other places. You know, it depends on the law. I hope they don't because that's insane. But they are really clamping down on people. But this is a great option that would actually work for you and would actually provide a lot of benefit to be able to get in and out. There's a question I get so much, and I've touched on these subjects, but I just wanted to put the pieces together in this video to make sure you guys fully understand that it is an option to actually buy things. It's just not an option to get out unless you go the route through gold and silver or unless you utilize one of the trusts that I was talking about in yesterday's video. If you haven't seen it, go check out yesterday's video. You're gonna wanna set up a trust like I was talking about. And I've talked a lot about trust lately because that's kind of the way everything's going, because you have to own nothing, you have to control everything. If you look at the business carve-outs, and look at the crypto framework, bill. I know it's like 900, is it 870 or 950? There's so many bills and they're always like 900 pages long. But it talks a lot about the carve-outs for trusts and businesses, provided the structure's properly on the ownership. You can't just start an LLC, put it in there, because it'll pierce the corporate veil and it'll be charged as a pass-through. A lot of people have been saying, well, I know that a regular LLC is a pass-through, but what about an S Corp? Problem with the S Corp, paying yourself a salary, it's going to be a reveal. You'll get, well, depending upon how much money, you could almost feel like double taxed on capital gains. This is why I talk about the holding company and the trust, to be able to restructure everything, because if you just do a simple LLC, you've gained nothing. You've gained nothing. You've gained no anonymity. You've gained nothing. Not even in New Mexico or Wyoming anymore if it's not structured properly. This is why you have to ghost it. So I get these questions all day, every day. I wanted to kind of answer some of them in this video so I can point to this video, because it's very important you guys start to actually understand this, because this stuff is actually coming. It's actually starting to speed up a little bit, and next year is going to be a pivotal year. Now, I'm rooting for Web 2 to die and Web 3 to take over. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We're building some stuff in the background on Privacy X. There's a lot of other amazing companies in the privacy space that are building stuff that is going to be really, really cool. And even though the government wants to try to fight some of this, they want to kind of make everyone a digital slave, it's just not working. It's just not working, and we're going to win the fight. But you have to take action if you want to win. You can't just sit back in your Barca lounger and think you're going to be okay, because the people who do that are not going to be okay. One day you're going to wake up and your money's going to be gone. It's going to be a CBDC, and you're going to have a list of things that you can or cannot spend it on. And at that point, it's too late. I won't be able to help you. Nobody will be able to help you, and you will literally spend the rest of your life as a slave. You have no choice. You have no choice. You won't be able to get in and out of crypto. You won't be able to use anything. Maybe you'll be able to use a little bit of precious metals on the black market, living under a bridge, but it's getting really bad. It's getting biblical. And I don't care if you believe in the Bible or not. Read the Bible. Look what happened. You're like, oh my gosh, there was this book written thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago. I don't know when it was written, bro, but it's eerily similar and it's not looking good. So regardless of your beliefs or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just look up from the screen and realize what's going on and start taking action, because privacy is a right, and it's a right that needs to be protected. And if you don't protect it, I don't protect it. You can bet the governments that are all coming after me will not protect it under any circumstances, but we're going to keep fighting them off, because we have to win. We just literally simply have no choice. So appreciate you guys checking out this video. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.